Alright, should be live. Welcome to another dev stream of my Zelda 1 remake. What are we working on today? So, last time we added this actor layer, so now we can finally define what enemies will go onto what screens of the overworld. So we see that there's 4 Octoroks up here. If I walk up here, 4 Octoroks will appear. They're not placed exactly where they are in the grid. Basically, just 4 enemies anywhere within this grid location get set to this grid location, and then they'll just spawn on any valid tile within that screen. So there's Octoroks up here, and then we got the Tektites, which we worked on the stream before that down here. So finally able to populate this overworld a bit, and we're just gonna keep going. I'd like to do the majority of the overworld enemies next before adding any other major mechanics. So the next ones we're gonna do are gonna be levers. If I go to my assets for this project, it's gonna be these 4 right here. I'm gonna make these a straight line. 64 by 16. This is our active state. It's just gonna cycle between these 2. And then when it burrows or surfaces, it'll use these 2. Okay. Let's save that to a new folder in actors called lever. Lever.png. Okay. New scene. Gonna open up the Tektite scene as well, just so I can copy these over more easily. So we need a character body. It's going to have it's going to have a new script. Let's save the scene first into actors, lever, and a new script for it. No template, please. Okay. Animation player, sprite 2D, instanced. So lever's not gonna have a shadow at all. I was wondering before, like, ooh, should I make the height some sort of, like, should the ability to jump or be thrown be applied to every actor, or should that be a component that only applies to some? I think the lever would be a case where we're never gonna see these guys jump. So that's one more point towards don't keep it in the actor script. But I'm not worrying about that right now. Right now, we are just setting this guy up. Something like that. Can't be more painful to change over later than it is to make it the first time now, so not worried. Sprite 2D. Let's make this bigger. 4 H frames. And set up a couple animations. So one's going to be, it's not going to be idle, it's not going to be walk. Call it active. Count by frames per second. I want to see, all right, let's look at what these guys actually look like. So I'm just gonna go frame by frame of them appearing. So that's, say, frame 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that was 10 frames. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. All right. I want to make it 15 frames, so we'll keep this at 1 second. It takes them 1 second to burrow or unburrow. We'll leave everything at 30 FPS. For active, it's just gonna loop between the first 2 frames of the sprites. So frame 0, go to halfway point, frame 1. Is that too slow? That looks too slow. That spins way faster. Actual active, it's like 3 to 4 frames. So in this case, this will be 0 and 4, and it will loop. How do I loop again? Oh, it's right here. So that's what they'll look like in action. Then we're gonna have burrow. This will be the 30 frame one. And this will have that, and then that. Boop, boop, gone. Okay. And then duplicate, emerge, I guess, or surface. I'll say surface. Just swap these around. Could technically just play it backwards, but I like to have them named while I'm scripting so I could see exactly what I'm trying to make it do. And then when we surface, we'll want to show the sprite here. When we burrow, we want to hide the sprite here. And when we're active, we want it visible. Okay. So there's our guy. Give him a regular collision box. This is what lets him collide with walls. Give him a hitbox. This will let him do contact damage. Oh, our hitbox is not okay, hold on. It needs to be 2 down. So if oh, this guy's hitbox is wrong too. Okay. I don't want to affect everyone's hitbox by changing this, but I do want to make this the default. 2 pixels down. Oh wait, am I guess I'm not doing that. It's centered. I thought I wanted the hitbox to be like down here, but if I didn't do that for anyone else, I won't do it for this. There's something I can change all at once later. So the hitbox is the contact damage. If the player comes into that circle, they can get hit. The hurt box is identical if the sword comes into contact with this hurt box, it gets hit. You know? you know. And then the shadow I will add because it is part of the actor script right now. All of these extra things I'd like to be instanced through code, but I don't actually have to do it until later. I'll do it by the time I finish all of the overworld enemies so that the dungeon enemies will be easier to make. But right now I'm still trying to figure out how I want the actors to interact, and I don't want to spend too much time thinking about the future when I don't even know what I need right now. So this is never gonna be seen, but I'll have it set up correctly anyway. Whatever. Okay. So we got the lever. You can spin. Now I feel like AI for this guy should be pretty easy, because if we go into the source material, I'm pretty sure they're still moving when they're burrowed, because you can see if I try to hook them on a tile here, they'll either many times they still get stuck on the other side of this tiles. So hold on, let me kill this guy. If I were to get them roughly on the same position of each other and then try to trap them on the other side of this tile, they're always going to spawn on the other side. So what that tells me is they're still moving and colliding with walls while they're burrowed. It's just their sprite is hidden and their collision is turned off, you know? So all I got to do is make an AI type that follows the player, and then on a timer play the burrow and unburrow animations and disable or re-enable their collisions. I think that's pretty straightforward. So let's try this. I'm gonna have the Octorok scene open, or no, I'm gonna have the Tektite scene open as a reference. So this guy extends actor. We do need a speed. We do need a move direction. We'll have a burrow timer. And we do need a target, which will be the player. Burrow. Burrow time will be 2 seconds, and surface time will be 2 seconds, I guess. Super ready. We do want physics process enabled, and target will be the player. Physics process. That should be good, and then we'll do, yeah, burrow timer plus equals delta, and now we can make the actual states. Yeah. Okay. Excuse me. Okay. So we always want to be moving towards the player. Let's get a default state where he's doing only that. Alright, this can actually go in actors for now. Nah, we'll rewrite that later. Oops. All right. So this should give us a very basic lever. Now we need to add him to the scene, so we got to add some stuff to our actor layer. Go to the tile set. Oops. We'll find the lever on the sprite sheet. Select it. Go to custom data. We're going to set the actor to lever. And then we can place it into our world. So now this lever will spawn somewhere on the first screen, but the world doesn't actually know what a lever is. Just typing it into that tile set doesn't do anything by default. We go to our constants and we add the path to the lever here. Okay. It's not going to be like this always, but it's not too hard to add to this for now. So theoretically, that should spawn it right now. Yeah, and it's moving way too fast, and its collision is still enabled. So we go to lever, and we disable its tile layer, because right now everything is considering this entity a wall, which we don't want. Okay, he's up there. So he's moving so fast. We're gonna set him to like 30. That's pretty slow. 40, 45? Leave and come back. Why is my shadow active? Hide. All right. Yeah, it's looking fine. Let's make him animate. Just call this once. It's not spinning. That's what it's called, right? Active, yeah. State default entered void, placing animation active. So, why is that not getting called? Interesting. All right. Just put in ready for now. So he's spinning. And he can die. Let's give him way more health. 2. Give him 10 hits for now. Cool. And we just need him to appear and disappear once in a while. Here. if burrow timer is greater than burrow time, no, surface time, change state to state burrow. What am I doing? State surface entered. Something like that, maybe. And then on state burrow. Okay. So I'm not actually resetting the time, am I? Yeah. That looks good. Let's make it like surface time is 4 and burrow time is 3, maybe? Yeah. Alright, he can still hit me when he's burrowed, though. Do I want to set this in code or an animation? Set it. Set an animation. Why not? I guess why not would be. I don't want. No, yeah. I don't want to have gameplay logic in animations. I want that to all be in scripts. Is it monitoring or monitorable? I forget which direction the combat happens. Do hitboxes hurt boxes, or are hurt boxes checking for hitboxes? State hurt. It's in hurt. Monitorable. Wow, I don't set it anywhere. How does this even work? State, or it should happen. Oh, all of this happens in the hitboxes and hurtboxes. So hitboxes do nothing. Hitboxes are just monitored. So I'll turn hitbox monitorable off and hurtbox monitoring off. Yeah, I'll start with that. Try that. And then when we're active, set this to true. When we burrow, set this to false. So I can get hurt now. Then he burrows, no longer getting hurt. Comes back up, still not getting hurt. And what are these by default? They're both on. So what if I flip these? It's working. I'm still getting hit. All right, what if we, oops. Good so far. Okay, that looks good. Can't hit him. And now I can. Can I hit him during the stage transitions? No. Okay, perfect. Alright, I think these guys take 2 hits. I gotta fix some of my health counts. So lever is 2. Tektite, I think is set to 2 right now, but it should be 1. Tektites are also supposed to be blue, I'm pretty sure. These guys die. I also want them to start in a different state. So ready, we'll change state. State burrow. Does that work? Oh, that means they start there. Change state to state burrowed. Nope. Cool. It's working. What's up, Sean? Thank you very much. Let's put these guys where they belong. Hold on, I gotta check. So we got 4. Oh, we got 2 in this next screen to the right of the Tektites. Another 2 in the next screen after that. Where else can I put these right now? There really aren't that many, huh? Kinda seems to be a rarer enemy. It's more in the desert. And there's blue ones. We'll just start with these 4 then. Thank you very much. My favorite Zelda game, Majora's Mask. And then Majora's Mask. For the 2D ones, probably Link's Awakening. That's why I'm obsessed with this art style. Reason I'm doing Zelda 1 is because I'd like to turn this into a course at some point, and I think Zelda 1 has the vast majority of Zelda features that are used for pretty much everything. Oh, that looks good. Should I Y sort them so that they're not... Oh, once they will always overlap at some point. How do the other ones avoid overlapping with each other? Do they have collisions? Like... Or does it happen eventually with them too? I guess it just happens. Though I can't get them to go exactly on each other like I can. Oh, they're also on slightly randomized timers. I don't know if their timers are randomized each time or if they're randomized at the start. And then they're on the same cycle. Minish Cap's good. I haven't actually finished Minish Cap though, which is a shame because it's probably the like it looks like the most featured 2D one. I should randomize their timers. Ocarina of Time is great. I'm doing a Ocarina of Time multi-world randomizer right now, and it's been so fun. For randomizers, my favorite is probably Ocarina. I'm trying to get better at Majora's Mask randos too, but that game's hard. I feel like vanilla Majora's Mask is enough difficulty for me. This should give us a little bit of randomization. So hopefully they won't overlap too significantly. Should also just put them in the starting screen. Or better yet, move player spawn over here. Alright. Very slightly changed, and then they're very slightly burrowing at different times. Okay, that's... They're still... It's still really easy to get them to... Because I don't think... Right now I have them moving... Like, they can move 360 degrees directly towards the player. But I think they're locked to 8 directions in here. It would make... I don't know, sometimes it looks like they're turning a little more smoothly than 8 directions. So I can't really tell. Is there an easy way to snap a vector to 8 directions? Hold on. I think I literally did this before and it was just taking them in, hold on. Target direction. We normalize it here. I mean, I guess I can just... Is that... That's not what I thought. Hold on. We will do integer something. Like, is there a round function? What does round do? Yeah, round, maybe? Is that what I'm thinking of? Okay. Round normalized. Maybe? No. No. Oh wait, that's it. But that looks unnatural. Hmm. Let's try snapped F. Can't tell if that's doing it though. No, it's not. Should I normalize after? Yeah, we normalize after. But then it's not normalized then, is it? Do I have to normalize it twice? Actually, that looks good. Hold on. If I do it 1.0. No, that makes the diagonal. Okay. I'll normalize it twice. Yeah. Well, it's not going to stop them from... It's not going to stop them from overlapping. But if we randomize both, maybe that'll get it a little closer. They both spawned at the same time. They are definitely appearing at different times, so that's better. I feel like they're moving pretty fast. I thought 30 was slow, but then when I went back to the source material, it looked a lot closer to 30. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with these. Alright. That's kind of good to go, I think. I'd consider these guys done. I want the randomization to happen off the bat, though. Alright, so now they will always be offset a little bit. Cool. So they're done. And all that. Yeah. Fix it. Yeah, just do that. Okay. Cool. New enemy. Really need more sound effects. Having only some objects have sound effects and nothing else makes this game feel so quiet. Be better off if there is no sound at all right now. I'm bad at making sound effects. Alright, next guys we gotta add is the Zoras. Zoras are gonna be more complicated, even though they have pretty similar behavior in that they just hide, then reappear. Well, no, it's not similar behavior at all, because the levers are still moving like normal when they're burrowed underground. Zoras have to choose a new tile every time. So we need to somehow set the water tiles as a valid tile for the Zoras. Right now the actor layer, wait, how do we find valid tiles for spawns? That happens in world. Get spawn location. So it's just looking for, it's checking the cell tile data and it's looking for something that doesn't have a collision. So we need to add, how am I going to handle water in general? Because water is going to have to be its own collision layer or part of like a special tile collision layer, and then it has its own. I think we're going to put water on its own collision layer. Yeah. So this is our water tile. go to tile set and find that right here. Hold on. We're just checking the collision polygon count. Is that per layer? Yeah, per layer ID. So it's checking if there's any collisions on layer 0. I don't want to add a ton of different layers for each tile that can be stepped on. I'd rather there be a layer that defines that a tile has a special property, and then we'll use custom data to actually define what that property actually is. But anything that's on layer 0 will always just be a solid tile. And anything that's on layer, let's say, well, what are layers? Got tiles, actors, combat, and screen. Let's make layer 5 something else. Special. Special layer? Interactive? Say interactive. Because water isn't too different from like tall grass or ice or something. All we really need to do is check if we are on an interactive tile. Yeah, I'm thinking too far ahead. Right now, we'll just call it interactive. Do I give water a collision right now? Not this water. Do I give this water a collision? I don't. Yeah, physics layer, there are no points here, right? No. What's physics layer 1? I don't want you to be in physics layer 1. What happens if I remove that? What breaks? Hopefully nothing. I think that was, yeah. Bit 4 / collision layer 5 is what I care about. So we're going to add I see. So add a new layer and it will be collision layer 5. So physics layer 1 in terms of the tile map is going to be layer 5. I don't love how they let you separate it like that, but I can see that getting confusing for me. Because now physics layer 1 here means physics layer 5 in general. And that sucks. Am I even using the actor layer anywhere? Like if I remove everyone from the actor layer, what breaks? Because even hitboxes and hurtboxes aren't using the actor layer, they're using tile layer. Which I don't. Okay. We'll keep it on 5. What's up, Farron? Thanks for coming. Thank you. let's not do anything drastic here. We'll use 5, and then it'll be on the second layer. I'm just gonna have to remember that for now, I guess. That's something I'll have to think about each time that I make a new tile map layer somewhere else with a different tile set. But for now, physics layer, physics layer 0 will be nothing for the water, and physics layer 1 will have the whole tile. Okay. And then we're going to have custom data layer called interaction. Do you draw the sprites? No. This is the Awakening tile set by Sodacoma. I'm not an artist. It's gonna be a string. Right, a string or something else. We'll say a string. Or do I want these to be separate data layers so that... No, I don't. Right now, I don't. Right now, any tile can only have one interaction on it, just to keep it simple for me. Okay, and just as an example, later when I want to add walking through tall grass, I would go to here, I would fill this in as a collision, and then I would set the interaction to grass. But we're not doing that right now. We're doing water. Okay. Now I want some way to when we spawn a Zora here. Okay, I think we should just have the Zora spawn anywhere as an initial implementation, and then we'll pass along what it should consider valid tiles after that. Let me microwave my coffee real quick. Okay, so add another scene. I should oops. Okay. Okay. Well, let's just start adding in another enemy, I guess. Character body. Call you a Zora. We'll save you to a new folder in the actors folder called Zora. It's that new visual script. What are you referring to? I'm not using any visual script here. I'm just using regular GD script on a separate editor on the right. So Zora, give it a new sprite that extends actor. Let's find in sprites, we need the Zora. Which is this. Oh wow, there's two-eyed ones and one-eyed ones. Interesting. I kind of like the two-eyed ones more. Let's see. Oh yeah, 4.6 changed all the editor settings, or editor themes. Zora.png. Okay. Zoras don't even need a collision, I guess. Just needs a hitbox. It doesn't even need a hitbox. 4.3 didn't run well on your laptop, but 4.6 did. That's good. I have a really underpowered laptop too that I use for Godot. 4.6 runs pretty smoothly on it. I do like having a second code editor. That way I can like, oops, what is stuck here? Don't save. If this was the only thing that I had running on my laptop, I'd still be able to wait, I forgot how. I'd still be able to edit it here, which is good on underpowered hardware. What am I doing? So welcome back again, Cheap Cheap. Yep, still working on another one. It's been more than 5 years, yeah. I want to say my original YouTube videos are coming close to 10 years. I was active for about 5 years, and then around 2020 or 2021-ish, I haven't really been on YouTube. Helped you make proper movement code? Glad to hear it. That's awesome. Yeah, a lot of this project still has a lot of DNA from the original Zelda-like tutorials. I try to improve everything as the years go on, but some of it was just solid to begin with and hasn't needed any changes. But that was Godot 3.0, so a lot has changed regardless. Alright, state default. Okay. Touch 4 still updated? Nah. But I'm trying to get back to that once I finish this one. Yeah, assets can be the hardest part. It's how I feel about most of my projects. I'm working on this one right now because Zelda 1 has such a exact amount of features. Like, I can get this asset pack that has everything that I need for Zelda, and then I could look at the actual Zelda game and know exactly what I need to implement. I'm trying to avoid any feature creep or trying to change assets a million times to make it look right when I'm only working on 1% of the game. Do I have a state time variable? I do, so I don't even need these extra timers, I guess. I don't need that for the lever anyway. But Let's add this guy to the actor layer. Feature creep top 10 game dev hurdles for sure, yeah. Constants. So what happens if I try to spawn one of these guys? Hey. Alright. So we need a way for it to know the valid tiles on the current grid. The valid tiles are currently handled by world, which is asking a lot of information from the tiles. Now, can I simplify this so that we're just passing the spawn rectangle to the tiles and have all of this in a function? Like, why are we calling this? Oh wait, but this is the tile map layer. So this does have to be in world. So we'll keep get spawn location in world. Like, I don't want the Zora to be having to ask the tile map layer, hey, where can I spawn? I want the Zora to just have that information when it's spawned. You know? Two scripts in one script. Yeah, it's just, I'm using NeoVim as my code editor, and that's just something I could do. You can have as many as you want, actually. Valid. All right, what does this do? It's not printing what I want it to. Node not found, shadow. I got it. All right, that is next thing on my to-do list. Levers are done. Zora's in progress. Close this. All right. It's that single spawner for entire Zora on the overworld. This single spawner is only for Zora on this particular screen. It's hard to tell what the grid locations are unless I zoom out, but each one of these individual grid cells, whatever tiles are or enemy spawners are placed in that grid cell, that amount of enemies will spawn anywhere in that grid cell. So this Zora is the only one I've placed so far, and it'll only spawn in this grid cell. All right, ooh, okay, I'm gonna give it a shadow. And hide it right away because it's not relevant to the Zora, but I need it right now because my code needs a little bit of love. I'll do that after the stream. What was I even testing right now? It's not printing its valid cells. Valid cells. Still not printing. If actor get valid cells, print the tile type. Print hello. Why are we not getting here? Are we even getting here? Who are you? So we're getting a Zora. Actor get valid cell. Oh, is it because it's empty? Yeah. Then do this the other way. Okay. checking my key bindings right now. Okay. I'm doing a lot here, so let's just try to get this to work. Where are we getting to? It's not finding any valid tiles here. Is this breaking it? Yeah, that's breaking it. So, if the tile layer is 1 and we're not getting the correct interaction type, then we keep looking. Okay. But when do we actually ask for the interaction type? When do we actually... Alright, get spawn location runs here. Alright, still running. That's good. Thing is, this is either looking for if something doesn't have a collision when it's tile layer 0, or when it's tile layer 1 when it is getting a collision. So I think I need to separate this into two different functions. One that cares about interaction type, one that doesn't. And then this bit can be its own thing, I guess. Also not tile, it should be cell. Alright, a couple things going on here. Okay, yeah, so we don't want any of this. Yeah, we're not gonna get random cells for the water. We want all of the cells. We'll get random cells once we have those within the Zora itself. Alright. I've led myself astray, but I have found my path again. Let's fix this shit. Tile layer is no longer relevant. Variant. Nah, shut up. This is a vector. Okay. Yeah, okay. Well, I guess I didn't need to change get spawn location at all. My bad. Yeah. I was doing that all wrong. Alright. does this even still work? Now my guy's not spawning anywhere. Is he? No. Alright. I can always rewind, but let's see if I can... Let's ignore this. Are we finding the cells? Oh, now I'm... Oh, yeah. Okay, fixed that. This guy's spawning again. But I need to get all of... Alright, we'll do... Get valid cells. We have to ask it what type of interaction we're looking for. And we'll return an array of points. Okay. Okay. And then last tiles. So for cell in tiles, get cell, get use cells. What does get use cells give me? An array of vector 2i's. No, that's really expensive. We'll do... How can I get only the cells within a rectangle? Is there a cool function for... tile map layers, or do I have to do some rectangle shenanigans? Because I don't want to use get used cells, because then we have to, for every screen, we're checking every single screen. I only want to pass along whatever the camera is currently looking at and only check the cells within there. Which, yeah, it shouldn't be that bad. So, let's see. But I can't really... All right. Let's... What does this give us? So that's giving us something. Well, this... What does this do? Why am I calling the screen size? Oh man, that's annoying. All right. Smooth screen transitions. Do you mean going like on a grid between these screens, or like from one scene to another? Yeah, the camera screen transitions can take some work. I don't have a tutorial for that anywhere. I'm trying to work out how I want to explain it. Constant tile size now. You mean that player not being able to move? I mean, it depends on how you set up your screen transitions in general, but I just made it so the camera... I'm using like the built-in pausing system that's in every Godot project. And the camera, their process mode is set to ignore whatever the pause is. And I take every entity, or I take every actor, and the player just gets paused until the tween is over, and then unpaused. And then that's also when I spawn or despawn all the enemies. But it is a slightly complicated feature that will depend on what your game looks like. Why is that 176.77? I pretty much want this to be cell size divided by 16. Hold on, I'm bad at math. So it should be 16 by 11. Because bounds size. Yeah, shouldn't size... or no, this should equal... Yeah, it should equal 256 by 176 at the end. Interesting. What am I doing? Is it end? Can't be end. No, yeah, that's ridiculous. It's got to be size. Or it's got to be like what I'm looking for is, but that's size. Like that should give us 176.77. All right. Let's see what it says for each screen. Is it different? Yep, it's different. Ridiculous. What's up, Game Endeavor? Also, it only runs when there are actors there, which makes sense, but... $176.77, $160.77. Oh. I mean, yeah. It is giving us... It's just multiplying it by whatever grid position we are in, which I don't want. No, but that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay. we're good. This is good. Let's all right. Just gotta get this in my brain. I'm trying to get every cell within here. We're gonna go through every cell when the player walks in. Well, I just need the rectangle, which is this bound size. And then we divide it by constant size. Eventually, I want it to give us... Okay, hold on. 176 by 77. That is... Why is the size not the same? No, it shouldn't be the same. It's correct. This is what we want. No. All right. We just need the top left corner of our boundaries. We just need the camera screen, like the actual camera position. And then we can just go by what we know the cell size is, divide that by 16. So do I even need to pass the camera boundaries? I guess I want to, just in case we want to instead pass the spawn boundary and not let anything spawn outside of the center of the screen. So... for cell in constant cell size divided by tile size, print. Wait, is that allowed? What does it give me? Do I want tile size to be that? Zero, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Yeah. That's right. So that's every cell, I think. We'll multiply this by tile size again. And that gives us... Well, I don't need to multiply by that because we'll be working with tiles. See ya, Farron. Thanks for coming. It's not a float. Is it a float? I guess it is a float. Whatever. Don't round it. Well... No. So that is giving me the right origin, I think. Yeah. Then we want to... Yeah, get all that cell size stuff out of here. We're gonna do... Can I do like... Cell rectangle is tiles local to map, or like, hold on. End cell equals tiles local to map bounds end, and then print a rectangle from origin cell to end cell. Can I do that? Is that allowed? And then No, 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 no. That's too much. X should only ever go up to... If it starts at 0, it should never go above 16. Alright, so I'm doing something wrong here. Or should this be size? What? I think it's that actually. Okay. Oh yeah. And then, all right, what did I just have there? It's already gone. Okay. There. Okay. God, I hate that. All right. So I think this is all the valid cells. Okay? I think. All right. I want that to print something, and it's not. It's very bad news. Oh, I didn't mean to close everything. It's very bad news because tile map layer, we're trying to see if anything in the physics layer 1, if it finds any tiles with points in physics layer 1, and if we look at the if we look at the water tile, select U, custom data, physics layer 1, there are 4 points here, so it should be saying, yeah, this tile has points. But it's not. It's not doing that. It's not doing that. Where am I? Here. So, what are you complaining about now? You were working fine a minute ago. Wait, no, just kidding. That is what we're working on. You were not working fine a minute ago. That's what I'm complaining about right now. So if cell data, we get the cell tile data at this point. What is in tile data anyway? What can I discern from these cells? Like, by layer ID. The heck is that? Interaction, water, yeah, okay. What does that do? Nothing. But we're making it here, right? Yeah. Print. Okay. Print cell data, get custom data interaction. Nothing. Oh wait, something. Vast majority of it. Okay. Well, no, nothing. It's not getting me any of these cells with the water. Oh, because we're not in the right place. Shouldn't be. This is giving me size. That's giving me position. What happens if I do the end here again? Because I feel like end is no, that's wrong. just do end cell? No. We want the for loop. We wanted to get those 16, but we want to offset it by the actual origin cell after the fact. So are these my cells? 160 to 175. Yeah, these are my cells. Okay. It is getting some of the water tiles now. So if the interaction is equal to the interaction we're asking for from the argument, valid cells append cell. Okay. And then what are you complaining about? It's declared but never used. Okay. Okay. I'm going to assume that's the array that we are looking for. This should be an array of all of the water tiles on this screen. That kind of looks like more. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So are there 48 numbers here? Are there? I can't tell. 42. Actually, is that? That's good then, right? doesn't have it. It doesn't have it. But it readies up before that, right? So let's print in every frame. Why not? I just need to check if it works in gameplay. No, it's still empty. Okay. Okay, it is working. I just surprised it didn't send an error anywhere there, but that's okay. Can I print this in ready? I cannot. That's okay, because it does get updated. All right, so now I have a way to randomize what cell this guy should appear out of. Whew. So state default. I don't want to give it cells, I want to give it actual positions. I guess I can just multiply by tile size after the fact. Okay, so now it's printing a different cell to try. Okay. Well, it seems to work. All right. Well, clearly there's more to be done on this guy, but I'm tired. So that's the end of the stream. Thank you everybody for watching. I might stream the rest of the Zora development tomorrow, or I might just finish this myself tonight. I haven't decided. But hey, what's up, Eric? Glad to see you. Yeah, he's very excited. Next we'll just be adding the actual logic for him submerging, re-emerging, and shooting a projectile towards the player, but nothing we haven't seen before. Just as a recap, we added in that guy and a way to detect valid cells per screen. And we also added, where's my levers? We added levers. I was only intending on working these guys this stream, but they ended up being really easy. And then I thought I could finish Zora's just as fast, and they ended up being really hard. That's just how it goes in development, I guess. But thank you all for watching. That's all for